And just like that, we are live for the first ever Survive and Thrive COVID-19 Celebrity Challenge event. For the next few hours, I'm going to be challenging celebrities to get outside their comfort zone, to find ways to survive and thrive during this pandemic. Look, the reality is all of us are outside of our comfort zones. Our lives have all been flipped upside down for this. And for a lot of people, it's even more challenging. People living with chronic pain, people who are lonely, people who really need help right now. And that's what this is about. And we're asking our celebrities to give it their all tonight to really get outside the comfort zone. And we're going to ask the same of you. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in. We absolutely want to raise awareness. But the other thing we want to do, we want to raise some money to help the Arthritis Foundation help those in pain. And this is unlike anything we've ever faced, but it's giving us an opportunity to help in ways we didn't know possible. Look, arthritis impacts more than 54 million Americans, including people like this guy. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I live with a chronic disease. I live with this chronic pain. Arthritis is the number one cause of disability in America. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be really trying to help those people impacted by arthritis and obviously impacted by this pandemic. So we've got some awesome people who are coming in. We've got some football players. Rob Gronkowski, who had a little bit of news recently. I think we may get a chance to talk about that. LeGarrette Blount, Brian Urlacher, Hall of Famer. They're going to be competing in a quarantine combine, and I can't wait to see it because you know these guys are going to be competitive. We've got celebrity chef Ming Tsai. I've been friends with this guy on Twitter. He's a genius. He's going to be whipping up a special quarantine cuisine recipe that he's come up with. As somebody who's new into cooking, I'm very excited about it. Gronk he's going to be a big part of this whole event, as is Camille Kostick, who you may recognize from the cover of the SI swimsuit issue. She and Rob, they're good pals. They're going to be having a dance challenge. All of this, everything we're doing tonight, it's to benefit the Arthritis Foundation. It's to help everyone who's living with pain right now. We all are in challenging times, but it does impact some people more than others. Those people in chronic pain, a lot of people for whom the daily activities of life are a challenge in the best of times, they're really being impacted now. So look, we want you to have a good time. We want everybody to have a good time, but we also want to make a difference. So if you're so moved and if you're in a position where you're comfortable right now, maybe you could consider helping others. And the way you can do that is by donating to the Arthritis Foundation. And look, giving is its own reward, but we also know sometimes people like to get some incentives. We have some awesome incentives here that you're going to be given. We got CBD Medical Topics. The CBD Medic is an unbelievable sponsor of this event. Some awesome things, arthritis, aches, and pain creams. We got signed footballs and jerseys by Gronkowski. Those things just became a little more valuable. Tickets to watch his old team play. There are a ton of things, but we want to remind you why we're doing this. We want to remind you about the people who are impacted by arthritis, the people who are helped by the Arthritis Foundation. So let's start off. Let's take a look at this.
Do you believe
I have arthritis?
I thought it was an old person's disease?
Then it happened to me.
I was diagnosed with...
I believe.
I believe.
Do you?
I get chills watching that video. I do believe. We use the C word a lot, cure. There are a lot of different types of arthritis, but that would be something awesome, would be to get that cure. That's a goal. That's what we're doing. Look, I have arthritis. It's been a story I've been proud to tell. And that's what tonight is about. It's about sharing stories. It's about making a difference. And we know with this pandemic, people living with arthritis, the Arthritis Foundation the demand has been unprecedented. People looking for help, people really struggling right now. So that's what tonight is about, helping those people. The reality is 66% of people living with arthritis regularly feel depressed, fearful, or anxious. That's in the best of times. Right now, that's amplified. So this is where you can make a difference. This is where you can donate. But even if you can't, share your stories. This is the viewer challenge. This is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you, share with me, what's been your greatest challenge during this pandemic? Comment on Facebook on the Arthritis Foundation, right here where you're watching it. Comment right now. Tell me what your biggest challenge has been. And right now, we got a guy who's faced a lot of challenges in his life, but he's also had some really good news right now. He's going to be with us all night long, and I can't thank him enough for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Gronkowski.
What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? How you doing?
Buddy, I'm doing better with you. And I can't imagine. Look, we're not even going to dance around this. You had some huge news. I was joking about calling you Boston, Rob. No more. You are now Tampa, Rob. Congratulations, my friend. Talk about this. You're returning to professional football. We've got right here. This was your press quote, but we don't need the quote. We've got the man himself. Rob, talk about this. Your return to professional football. Tell me how this came about.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited actually, and I'm real excited.
Love hearing that from Perry. And you know, that's the reality of this challenge is it's given people a lot of different ways to step up, and that includes corporations, because we realize at the end, these corporations, they're made up of people. Great for Perry Endelman to come out, support with CBD Medic, for Rob to be here. And it's a reminder, we can all make a difference. Doesn't matter how much you can give, whatever you can give. If you can, we'd certainly appreciate it. You can see the ways to donate here. And once again, we're saying thank you. 500, if you donate $500 right now, you'll get a Gronk signed jersey, plus some of the CBD Medic arthritis relief pain ointment. We got 10 of those. So the first 10 people who donate $500, you're getting a Gronk signed jersey. That alone, that's going to be worth a lot more than 500, especially with 3 rings. And this ointment, it's stuff, Rob swears by it. It's amazing. Look, you see it. People with arthritis are more vulnerable now than ever during this time. And we've been asking the community, people in the arthritis community, what's been their biggest challenge since this outbreak? One person gave us a response that really stood out. So wanted to share that with you right now.
Hi, my name is Katie Taff, and I've had polyarticular idiopathic juvenile arthritis for the past 19 years. I've had my fair share of challenges and then some recently, but I'm thriving through this unique and certainly challenging time by surrounding myself virtually with my arthritis family, who is always there through the highs and the lows. I'll admit that I have had to navigate some scary moments during this COVID outbreak, as my medical issues have flared, and the hospital is certainly the last place a high-risk individual wants to be. I mean, goodness, weekly infusions are scary enough. But finding the rainbows in the rain by doing my best to stay positive, no matter what medical complications pop up, is certainly how I've been surviving and thriving in the thick of the storm. Stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy.
Positive energy. And look, it was what Rob said too. Sometimes a positive mindset can go a long way. Even if you're hurting on the inside, putting that smile on, sometimes you can convince yourself that's working. Appreciate Katie sharing that. Again, want to hear from all of you. Share us. What has been your challenge during this pandemic, during this lockdown? Share it on the Facebook page. You're there already. Just let us know what's going on. And I want to give a shout out right now. We've had a donation. Barbara Woods donated on behalf of NYC. Thank you. And Deb Constein, both of you already donating. I want to say thank you. We really appreciate it. So we've got another guest right now. She's Rob's better half for sure. She's a world famous model, true star on her social media channels. She's someone who's never not dancing. She's always staying active. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Camille Kostek. Sometimes it doesn't happen immediately, folks. That's what happens on live broadcast. So we'll see. There she is. There's Camille. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Listen, I'm doing great. We can't thank you guys enough for being here. It's been great. So let me ask you, Camille, you're obviously in New England. You and Rob are holed up there. How have you been surviving and thriving during this?
My gosh, you want to know what? We're really taking this time to thrive during this quarantine. You know, I've been doing a lot of interviews and press and talking with a lot of people through social media and stuff. And I realized that the biggest question that I get asked is anxieties. And we constantly kind of have to remind each other of them, because it is easy to kind of fall into that black hole of negative comments, because we do value the opinions of others, but we need to remember that those aren't the opinions that we should be valuing.
By the way, you gave me a new affirmation. I'm going to look in the mirror every morning and say, I'm a beast. Yeah. I am a beast, because I couldn't imagine Boston sports fans being negative here, casting shade on somebody, taking the piss out of them.
Boston got my back. They got my heart. They're good people.
They're great people.
Even with
But
this,
they could cut you. I got a lot of Boston friends. So listen, you guys have been locked down together. We've got a challenge, a lockdown challenge for you two. I can't wait to get that in there. So is Rob around? Do we still have Rob here?
I think so. Let me see. It's so funny. We have to be in different rooms. Roberto James, come here.
Is he getting on his? He can get on his computer too. Whatever.
Oh,
Get on your computer, Rob. So listen, folks, we're playing this by ear sometimes, but we've got a challenge. We are going to do a challenge here. We're gonna put Camille and Rob head to head. We're gonna see who the bigger beast is. We're gonna see whose mindset wins out. There he is. So we got Rob and Camille. Are you guys ready to go head to head?
yes.
Oh, look at him. I got to say, I know folks in Tampa got to be excited for this new hand-eye coordination. All right. So you folks haven't seen this yet. Oh, we've got Rob and Camille going head to head in our first Survive and Thrive challenge of the night.
I'm going to survive and thrive.
The incredible young woman from that video, Kristen McAllister. K-Mac, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you. I'm so honored to be here.
So let me ask you, how have you been surviving and thriving during this lockdown?
Well, at the beginning of the quarantine, I was sort of feeling really unproductive, and I decided that, you know what, this is a perfect time to write a book, start putting all of the things that I've been through together and just typing it out. And that's what I've been doing. The first 2 weeks, I was sort of like a lot of Netflix. And then I decided to start writing my book, which I've been wanting to do for a while.
I can relate. I spent the first week playing video games. So what's it been like for you as an arthritis warrior dealing with this pandemic, having arthritis during this? What's that been like?
So you know what? I actually have two things sort of on a unique perspective and a unique of looking at it. When I was sort of scrolling through social media throughout this quarantine, I know that a lot of people are really struggling. And I sort of was like, why am I not struggling with the fact that I'm homebound? And I realized that it's because for the past 5 years, I've been quarantined. So this is sort of like a normal for me because of, this disease that so many of us live with. And then on the other hand, there's been a little extra fear added because, just the other day I was on the phone with my pharmacy and I was trying to get one of the medications that I take, hydroxychloroquine. And I was asked, are you sure you need this? And it's like, yes, I do, but I understand that we're in a shortage. And so it's just sort of, on one hand, it's sort of normal, but it's made it a lot easier because I feel like all my family's home with me now. And I feel like after this pandemic, there's going to be a lot of people that have a whole lot more compassion for the chronically ill and homebound.
Oh, so well said. And I think that is true, that people living with chronic pain, they have had some training for this. By a lot of times they're quarantined just by being forced to stay home. And
exactly.
We've all been there when you have trouble getting out of bed. So what is the Arthritis Foundation? What's it been like? How have they been there for you during this?
Oh gosh. Well, so in my first Jingle Bell run was in 2011. And I was appreciate
everyone who's donating. Now, we've been asking everybody to share your challenges. We got a few here. Amy McCormick. She said, we're in New York, so having immunocompromised families even more scary. We haven't left the house since March 13th. Thank God for delivery drivers. Absolutely. Jacqueline Faith Yarborough, challenges as a mom, just facing it with these kids. You can see it's a challenging time for all of us, for so many right now. And once again, you can make a difference if you donate. Even if you don't have the ability to, just sharing your stories, that's all we ask. Donate in any way you can. But the money absolutely helps. But listen, we got more coming. We got more action coming up. Harley Pasternak just gave us a workout. Now we got 3 legendary football players squaring up in a combine challenge. Let's take a look. So right now, as part of our Survive and Thrive Challenge, we have two very special guests that Rob has brought in, football legends, Brian Urlacher and LeGarrette Blunt. Gentlemen, thank you so much for making the time to join us on this special night.
Thanks for having me.
Man, thank you for having us, man. Appreciate
So, LeGarrette,
it.
let me start with you. Where are you holed up, first of all?
Sir?
Where are you staying during this quarantine?
Arizona. I'm in Queen Creek, Arizona, man. I'm just trying to stay safe and, just create as many games and homemade everything as possible to keep everybody occupied.
So is that what you're doing? Because, this is what we're talking about here. How are you surviving? How are you thriving?
Man, we're making up all different kind of water balloon games, and we're doing some dodgeball on the trampoline in the backyard. We get inventive, man. We bobbing for apples in the pool, everything.
You're kidding.
We're doing it all.
Now, Brian, what about you? Where you hold up?
So I'm right down the street from LeGarrette. I'm in Chandler, Arizona.
We got neighbors.
Yeah, we're neighbors for sure. But I'm
Yes, sir.
still playing golf, LeGarrette. We got, the courses are still open. So I've been playing golf almost every day, riding my mountain bike in the mountains. Most everything is still open outside here. So we're doing that. But the difference is the kids are home all day. So I got to hurry up and get back home so I can hang out with the kids.
Well,
Yeah.
I love it. What I'm hearing from both you guys is how important activity is, staying active for you, for your kids. And speaking of that, right now, obviously, this is an unprecedented time for sports, not just football, everything going on. What is your take on all this, and how are sports going to come back?
Man, they're definitely keeping it active. That's for sure. With the news that came out today, it's everyone is doing their own version of sport or sporting around the house. It seems like I see people shooting, shooting 3-point contests, where they line up a whole bunch of ping pong balls. I see people putting up little basketball goals and, dunking on each other. And, I see a whole bunch of reruns and flashback games on NFL Network and, on the NBA TV and stuff like that. That's all the football and all the sports we can get right now, but I'm hoping that it comes back soon.
You caught any games with you in it, LeGarrette?
I just watched the Super Bowl, Eagles versus the Patriots.
I watched it too.
So what about Rob? Rob, that was just
that's my
Xbox. Turned out very good for y'all. Yeah,
Come on, Blunt. Why'd you have to take us down, man? I could have 4 rings, not 3.
I'm saying though, man. Let's share. We got to share with each other. We fam, so we both got to equal out with. I mean, you might go get you another one, but we good right here with 3 apiece.
All right, I understand. I appreciate that.
You my guy. You my guy.
Yeah, we each other's guys, so yeah, we got to equal it out. I like that.
So I think this is what we expected. We get three legendary NFL players on here. Obviously, the competitive juices are flying. That's why we're excited. We're going to put these guys through a quarantine challenge in a little bit. Clearly, they've got some pent-up competitive juices to let out. So, Brian, we're talking, though, this is about for the people at home. A lot of them may not be able to get out there. We're talking about the challenges you're facing. Brian, I just want to give you a challenging question because I had a chance to talk with you. You played for Chicago. You were a linebacker. Known as tough as nails. Absolutely. Your eyes when you were on the field were insane. But let me ask you this, man. Is there anything you're afraid of?
Well, during these times, man, it's like someone in my family getting sick. Most important, my kids. If something was happening to them right now with this stuff, it's scary because this is all unknown. No one really knows what's going on, what's going to happen, what the timetable is on any of this stuff. There's all speculation, everything. But for me, it's trying to keep my kids safe during this time right now. It's just scary. We're trying to keep them locked in as much as we can. It's tough, man, because they want to get out and do stuff. So it's hard to keep them away from their friends and just kind of honed in. But yeah, the kids thing really scares me a lot, and my family trying to stay safe during all this time.
I'm
just
sure
selfish, I guess.
Yeah, well, every parent, I'm sure, has that fear. LeGarrette, you've been talking about all the things you're doing to keep your kids active. But let me ask you this. It's not just about the kids. For you, what's been your guilty pleasure during this quarantine? What's been the thing that just offered you comfort that you wouldn't want these guys to know about, but you're going to confess here now?
I would honestly say I've been able to use this as a way to binge game.
Really?
Yeah.
Which game, LeGarrette?
2K and Apex Legends. Those are the two that I play the most. I got me a couple players created on there. Running 2K hooked me up. Appreciate that. and Apex Legends. Those are the two games I play. I mean, I game, probably a couple more hours a day than I would. That only put me at about 4 or 5, but
only 4 or 5 hours a day.
Hey, well, that's my break. You see, I'm down here. I'm down here in my little basement area, so I could just, after we get done with the homework and all of that stuff, I get me a little getaway time.
Lily is such a stud. I just want to give you an update. We're still working on the audio with Chef Ming Tsai. We definitely want to get him back in here. We'll keep working on that. I want to give some shout outs. People are responding. Leah Delaney, Lily is a warrior, sort of my hero. Deb Constantine, shout out to Lily. Don Paul, everybody throwing out a lot of love. Just a reminder, if you can donate, we'd certainly appreciate it. And a reminder, there's some great incentives. $2,000, you get 2 sweet tickets, 2 pregame field passes to a New England football game. You get CBD medic ointments. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to roll on. We have another guest. We have so many guests who are joining us. I'm so excited. And just the donations have been awesome. We had Elizabeth Smith give a $500 donation. I believe she gets a jersey for that. If you don't want to wear it, you could send it to don't send it to me. How do I even say that? Elizabeth Smith said, thank you. 3 of her kids have arthritis. Another has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. We need a cure. Yes, we do need a cure. And that's the word we use, the C word. Sometimes we don't like to speak it, but I love talking about a cure. Rheumatoid arthritis doesn't have a cure, and we're working on it. And the way we do that is research. And the Arthritis Foundation is funding some cutting-edge research. So if you can donate, please be generous. But if not, share your stories. And thank you to everyone who's being a part, who's sharing in this community tonight. We're all here together. We're surviving and thriving. But right now, we've got the relationship challenge. We're going to go to that. It's Rob and Camille, and they're competitive. Let's see how this plays out. And now it's time to take 2 competition beasts and put them together. The reality is we are all cooped up. There's nowhere to escape. You're learning a lot about the people you're living with. Relationships are under pressure. Some are thriving. Others are facing challenges. But right now, it's time to find out if our favorite couple here tonight, Rob Gronkowski and Camille Kostick, how well they know each other. It is our Survive and Thrive Relationship Challenge. Welcome to our competitors, Rob and Camille.
Hey!
We will say you're in separate rooms. We hope that's just for the game, not a sign of any strained tensions between you two as this night goes on.
This is just for the game. We spent a lot of time together in the same room.
All right, so here's how it works, Camille and Rob. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'll start off with you, Camille, ask you questions about Rob. You will write down your answers. We'll then see how well you know Rob. Then we'll flip the script. Rob, we're going to ask you some questions about Camille, and I can see she already has a pen out. Bro, you better not get these wrong, Rob. All of America will be watching. Now,
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go.
You're ready, Rob.
I've been studying her the last 3 weeks, man. I got her down to a T.
We know he's been watching game films, Camille. So right now what we're going to do, Rob, we're going to take you out of the room. We're not going to allow you to hear or see Camille's answers. We'll bring you back in to find out how well she knows you, all right? So we're going to say goodbye to Rob right now. Camille, my focus turns to you. How well do you know that lovable lug that you are living with? We're going to start off with 3 questions about Rob. I want you to write them down. You can tell us about these answers, give us some insight, but the key is to match what Rob will say is the answer. Okay?
Okay.
So here we go. Your first question. What is Rob's biggest fear?
Oh, man. So I have to write it down?
You have to write it down. You can take me through it, though.
Biggest fear.
He's retired from football. He's been hit by large men, had bones broken.
That's the thing. He